Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to the 15th webinar from Medgini. And this particular webinar has been organized with a very hot topic. This particular topic comes with a feedback from the participants who have attended our webinar. And the critical component in pharma marketing, which we are talking about today, which is POB and RCPA. So POB and RCPA, as we all know, we are from the pharma marketing industry. We have people who have joined in today, and we've got more than 200 plus registrations. And we will be talking about POB and RCPA. And with that intention, I would like to hear from you. Where do you join us from? What exactly is your background and where is your location? So if you can please put in the chat, it will help us to connect with you better. I would request if you can please put in your particular location and background. Hi Ratan, welcome. You are from the training background. You have joined us from Faridabad. Thank you so much. Hi Surya. Rahul has joined us from Bhopal. He is area manager. You joined us from which company, Rahul? Okay, you are from Hetero Healthcare. Nice. Gurudutt has joined us from BPRL, Bangalore. Satvik Marketing, Mumbai. Okay. Welcome, Satvik. Hi, Ajit. Hi, Rahul. Rahul has joined us from Group Pharmaceuticals. So we have got people from various companies who have registered for today's conference. And we normally see around 12:15, the people really joins it. With that, we would like to go ahead and proceed for the webinar. And they are 5 benefits which our participants will be getting from today's webinar. And would like to hear from this. The 15th webinar, which we are organizing today, is talking about POB and RCPA. As we all know, POB and RCPA is the basic of pharma marketing. And we have seen companies do that, maybe in the right way, or maybe in a manner which they are trying to learn and evolve. We are talking about learning from experience. So with that, we've got speakers who have been there, done that, and we will be talking in detail about what exactly is RCPA and what are the challenges when it comes to POB. So what are the things that you need to improve upon? That's the second benefit we are going to talk about. Third, we are going to talk about how exactly a POB should be taken care of. And when we are talking about competition, if you want to stay ahead of the competition, please do RCPA and POB in the right way. So we are going to discuss that in detail as well. If you would like to optimize your order booking and distribution, POB is definitely mandatory things, but there are certain things which we want to share with you as well, which comes from the experience of the speakers. In addition to these 5 benefits, we would also like to give you an ebook. An ebook is a transcript of the conversation, which we are going to have with our speakers today, which is on POB and RCPA. And we also have an opportunity for the participants to win 2 books from Subbarao sir. This is book is Sentiment Analysis for Pharma Marketeers. It's a very hot topic, very relevant topic. And this is a new book which has been released just about a week back. And this we are going to 2 winners. The contest will be asked post the conversations which we will be having with the speakers today. So with that, I would like to give you opportunity and welcome you all to participate in the contest. Please answer the right thing. It's a simple multiple choice questions. You need to just participate and get a chance to win this particular book. With that, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Ashish. I joined in from Hyderabad. I head Medgini. I started Medgini being an employee of IT and a telecom company and now transited to being an employer. And I have passed out from Symbiosis Institute of Business Management in 2004. I've been recognized with Business World 40 under 40 healthcare power list. And I have started this particular Medgini with a whole purpose of helping pharma marketeers to do business better. I live with my parents, my wife, and my kids in Hyderabad. So with that, I would like to first introduce our first speaker, Manasdas sir. Manasdas sir comes with 40 years of experience. 20 years he has spent in Sun Pharma, and he has lived there in terms of RX, OTC, OTX business. So he has mastered healthcare engagement, trade engagement, sales operations. He started off his career being a medical rep. So he's a grounds up person. He has also headed Sun Pharma's consumer healthcare division, not only been in the RX side, but also established a consumer healthcare division of Sun Pharma after the acquisition of Ranbaxy. And also He has been instrumental in doing a lot of transformational activities when it talks about launch of Volini, as well as the brand extension of Molini, that is Volini Max, Mobisox, as well as Nasoclear. So with that, I would like to welcome Manas Das, sir. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Ashish. Too long a description, but yes, whatever I'll be talking today to my colleagues, I'll be both from PMT and from the field. I'll be only sharing directly through my experience what I have learned from my seniors and also from my juniors. So we will be talking practical aspects of our work, that is with regard to RCPA. I find a couple of guys here, those who I had an opportunity to work with them, or I had an opportunity to bring them into the profession. I see their names, a couple of guys. So we will interact. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Warm welcome to you. Sachin Birari, sir, our second speaker. He has been a close friend of mine, a customer. We have worked together as a vendor as well as a customer. Sir has served in large companies like German Remedies, Alembic Pharma, as well as Lupin. Now he is heading Genri Life. He's the owner of Genri Life. This is a chain of generic medical outlets, about 100 plus in Maharashtra, which is doing extremely well in the name of Swasth Aushadhi Kendra. So that's how the Sachin Birari sir experience has been there across. He has been very active in terms of guest lectures and speakers in various pharma institutes, and he has been a thought leader. And with that, I would like to now welcome Sachin Birari sir.
Thank you very much, Ashish ji. It's pleasure to be a part of this webinar, and I always seek for such kind of opportunity where we can have an interaction and share as well as gain some knowledge. It's through the same kind of mind kind of people. So thank you very much for this thing, and looking forward a good interaction with this webinar as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sachin sir. So with that, I would like to introduce the topic. Introducing the topic, as we all know, RCPA and POB, we are seeing there is a lot of complexity when it comes to pharma trade marketing or pharma marketing as such. When we are talking about engagement with chemist or doctor engagement is very critical. The two important legs of today's discussion, which is POB, is very important from product availability perspective, prescription fulfillment perspective, and brand loyalty. Closely connected to what we are talking about POB is today is RCPA, which is Retail Chemist Prescription Audit. That's the word which we have already given. But there is some discussion, or probably there is a submission that we are going to have today, which is Retail Chemist Prescription Analysis. So we would like to not name it as audit, but we would like to take it as analysis activity, which gives us an insight in terms of what exactly is the prescription flow, how is the competitor playing, and how is the substitution happening. So this is going to give us a very deep insight on what exactly we are talking about. POB and RCPA there comes with their own challenges. The key challenges when we talk about POB is market competition. As we know, pharma industry, we have a lot of Me Too products, and standing out and being available at the chemist shop is critical for the business. Chemist engagement is equally very important because chemist has a lot of options to keep the particular product. Stock as well as demand forecasting is very critical when it comes to POB. Order compliance. So it's not about only order taking, but it's also order fulfillment, which we are going to talk about in detail today in the discussion. When we talk about RCPA, the critical challenges in RCPA is data inconsistency. So it is completely dependent on data. As we know, the data is collected from the retailers by the pharma companies. There is a gap with regard to the training on RCPA, with regard to tools and how to take the particular RCPA, which we will also be discussing in details. What are the do's and don'ts when we are talking about RCPA? Data insights. Data is coming, but are we actually reading the data in the right way? What exactly is the expectation and what exactly we are going to derive from that particular data? So these are the gaps or challenges which we have sensed after talking to people who are there in the industry. who are at different levels, be it medical representatives or pharma marketing people, group product managers, brand managers. So with that, I have collated the questions which have come from the participants. So we have asked, what are the challenges that you normally feel which has to be discussed and need answers from our speakers today? So with that, the first question which I want to ask Manas Das sir, we have retail chemist prescription analysis, which we normally do in the industry, and POB. So how do we train our field force to do effectively? Can you please share your thoughts, Manas sir?
Yeah. So, dear colleagues, this is one of the most important topic for any one of us. Particularly, this is important for the product management team to ensure to have an understanding of RCPA. This is equally important at the field level. Let's relook into it as the differently. Instead of RCPA as retail chemist prescription audit, we don't do audits. We are more concerned about the analyzing the data. Now, we will call it, reframe it as RCPA, that is analysis. Now, if it's an objective to have the RCPA, only to have POB, I'm sure that should not be the consideration. RCPA and POB two are very important, but the objective of RCPA is not to do POB alone. It is beyond that. The reason being, as all of you know, RCPA will give us total insight of what is happening in the marketplace, which we have seen that when we go to the retailer, first thing I need to understand, identify the right kind of retailers. Now, if I just go for the sake of doing RCPA to any retailer, it will not happen. In many organizations, there are specific guidelines which has been given. Now, when it comes to RCPA, I need to specify that what kind of retailers I have. When you look at the retailers today, when we started our career, we used to have in a town 12 or 13 retailers. I'm referring to a small place called Rourkela, where we had 18 doctors and 12 retailers. Today, we have there 200 retailers. So the things have changed. The things have changed. So what we need to do that we need to understand, let's have the segmentation of the retailers. If one retailer is serving one doctor, we call it something R1. One retailer is serving 2 to 3 doctors, we call them R2. And then something like, modern trade kind of outlets like Apollo, like MedPlus, like Noble, their prescriptions from every place it comes. If you are in Hyderabad, it can come to one shop in Secunderabad from many places, whether it is names, whether it is Gandhi. If you are in Calcutta, there are shops like Frank Ross or your Des Medical. The prescriptions will come from all over. So we need to understand that what kind of retailer I am doing and what could be my question. Number one, if I just enter into a retail outlet and start asking, "Mera ye chalta hai kya? Is my product movement is there?" Will he respond? It may take 1, 2, 3 visits to develop that particular relationship with that outlet. So these are all the training, the field force, the first question that Ashish has put here. How to train? Now we need to understand first ourselves as seniors, whether I'm a regional manager, whether I'm a sales manager, or a product manager, or a BUA, or a national sales manager. I need to understand what is my objective of RCPA. If my objective of RCPA is only to do POB, then probably I'll not be successful. But the objective of RCPA is to expand my market, expand my customer base, expand my prescriptions. That is important. Now, there are a few successful companies. Like, I do not want to take here the name of the organizations. There are 2, 3 organizations, those who give us some data about the prescriptions, about the movement, about the specialty-wise prescriptions. But if you look at the seniors present here, they will know these 2 or 3 organizations, their base is only 10 to 12,000 HCPs across the country. Now, what you get, Sachin, if anywhere I am going wrong, please correct me because you would have handled such things many.
It's going very well, sir.
So out of 10 to 12,000, and when we have a customer base like HCP base now roughly registered close to 5.5, 6 lakhs, and then in specialities, you have many in thousands. There, this 10,000 is minuscule. That may help the organization to understand. But I am the organization. If I am a medical representative and I am working in Balia or Basti, or if I am working in Kolhapur, I am the organization in Kolhapur. I am the organization in Nizamabad. So, in my organization, what is happening to the product, that becomes very important. Many of you would have seen there is something in circulation, one particular product, Dr. R.S. Sarma of somewhere writes, if you're coming to launch the product, don't meet me. He's a doctor from Jaipur. 20 of the brands have been launched on the first day. Now, there, it is important that first, number one, developing relationship with the retailers, knowing the owner. At times, I go to the retail outlet and I talk to the person concerned. अरे बाबलू भाई कैसा है आप? बाबलू भाई के पीछे अजय जी बैठे हुए हैं. हम अजय जी को जो कि ओनर है, हम उनको इग्नोर करते हैं. We should never do that. Sachin being in retail involvement now very high, he understands this. हमें बाबलू को importance देना है, अजय भाई को भी देना है. Then only if I develop that relationship, whether I give him a small book or some small like order book or a pen or a keychain, nothing happens. Ultimately, item वो बोलेंगे, अजय भाई order confirm करेंगे. Payment Ajay bhai denge. Now, in a prescription scenario, again, I am coming back to POB. It's a very good thing. I go to the market, I do the POB of the product. I book sitagliptin, 10 boxes. I book Pantocid L, 10 boxes. Now, my dear friend, my job of POB is being done. But if it is not liquidated, the chemist will return the stock after 10 days. So, I need to understand, probe that which doctor is prescribing what. So first is developing relationship. Number two is understanding the profile of the retail chemist. Profiling. If you are not doing the profiling, if I go and ask to chemist X, आपके पास डॉक्टर सचिन का पर्ची क्या आ रहा है, डॉक्टर मानस का क्या आ रहा है, रमेश नायर का क्या आ रहा है, अरे उसके पास तो खाली डॉक्टर आशीष जैन का पर्ची आता है. Why I am wasting his time by asking all this? Because Dr. Ashish Jain sits inside the chemist outlet or next to the chemist. His 80% prescriptions are being served by Dr. Ashish Jain. So he should be my R1. Now, if I go typically to a chemist in front of the KEM hospital, there I will not know the doctor's names. There I'll ask, कौन सा department से पर्ची आ रहा है? So these are the basic things, which is a long session to be discussed, which could be a session RCPA, maybe 3 to 4 hours. I find a couple of guys sitting here, those who have undergone these RCPA session internally during the training program, induction program. So it is very important to understand that what kind of chemist I am meeting, what kind of questions I need to do. It should be a leading question. It cannot be, and it should be, if I tell him, मेरा Pantocid का prescription तो आ रहा है ना, खत्म. Why can't I start from other brands? And then at the end I come and I need to quantify. कितना पर्ची weekly आता होगा? अच्छा, कितना गोली आता है? And very important, during that RCPA, we should wait outside, and I at least try to promote that wherever I work, live prescription reading. There is nothing like live prescription reading. There are two places live prescription reading can be done. One at the doctor's chamber, standing outside when the patient comes out, and the other one, if I devote 1 hour or half an hour in a chemist shop with an objective, there I should read the live prescription. That gives me clarity. What clarity? What is the indication? What is the dose? And for how many days? Now, a typical GP will give a PPI maybe, आप ले लो 2 दिन 3 दिन, but a physician or a gastro may give for 15 days, may 20 days. तो मेरे लिए कौन important है? That is how I need to identify. So, and POB will come only at the next phase. Once I ensure that my prescription generation is there, then only identify the customer and ensure, then POB is a byproduct. Without my asking the POB, I will get any questions, anything, Sachin or Ashish.
So I think the perspective what you have made today, Manas sir, is that RCPA definitely comes as a basis. If you are starting off in the market, if you are doing doctor profiling, RCPA forms the basis. You go and understand, it's like a mirror activity. You basically know where you are and what exactly is happening in the market. So this is definitely an insightful thing. And with that, Sachin sir, I wanted to ask you a very important question, which I keep asking my customers and which I also doubt, which is basically the authenticity and accuracy of the data. So when we are talking about data which comes with regard to POB, so field team go and meet the retailers. You have seen that in your assignments, be it Alembic, Lupin, German remedies. What is the authenticity and accuracy of the data of POB? What's your perspective about this?
Okay. The thing is that we should be clear. That means the entire chain, let it be a marketing team or maybe a sales head or maybe the salesperson or the medical representatives who is going to do the RCPA or POB. So if we are clear what are the steps involved in this, the sanctity of the data could be in a great way. How it is to be. So before collecting the data, if we could go, there are two ways. One would be a ए भाई लोग चलो अपने को डेटा कलेक्ट करना है, ये करना है, सो चलो जाओ आप करके लेके आओ. दिस इज वन वे. क्योंकि बोला है, किसने बोला है, कोई एचओ टीम में इसने बोला है, उसने बोला, which is I'm talking very practical thing which happens usually. This is the way. Chalo, now the data which is going to come, maybe from, if he is a regional manager, he may be heading a team of 40, 50, 60 people. If he's area manager, heading a team of maybe a 10, 12 guys. So now the data which is going to come from this 10, 12 people or maybe 80 people or 60 people is going to be a haywire. Why? Because nobody has been given the direction. So the most important when we are talking about ensuring the authenticity and accuracy, if we could have a structured questionnaire, okay, so that is going to help in two ways. One is while collecting the data, the person who's going to take the data, he is clear what is to be asked and how it is to be get mapped. And second, once the data is coming to the maybe area manager, regional manager or zonal manager, or maybe the product manager, brand manager, they can also able to collate and able to see the data which is in a sync with this thing. The most important next thing is required for this thing to ensure the accuracy and authenticity would be accurate documentation, that too periodically. If it is going to be periodic accurate document which will help, nowadays the mobile reporting and all things are there, but even if somebody is maintaining their diaries or something, it is going to help us now to collect the accurate data, and the data which is going to get sent to the HO or maybe to their respective managers. And now this is what is the preparation before doing it. Now when we are going, that means the representative or the area manager is reaching to the retailers. Now the way the sales team has been briefed, trained for the structured communication, tailored communication inside the chamber, then the brand management must prepare a tailored communication even for the retailers. See what happens. See, I can understand there is a different style of individual while interacting with the doctor or maybe the individuals. But if you could have a tailored communication, so it is going to help the Salesforce to engage with the healthcare provider to understand the specific needs. Okay, because वहां पे RCPA है या POB है, जो भी कुछ आप ले रहे हो वहां से, तो exact you are going to get an answer if it is the structured communication, structured questioning. And now the part which, so this is what is going to help in the accuracy. Now we are talking about the authenticity. So data is never to be seen in silos. I've been always communicating कि to my team, अगर आपके पास primary data
Yeah,
echo,
Surya, can you please mute all the participant and can you please only give
Done,
the
sir. Done, sir.
feedback to the
Done.
speakers? Right, thank you so much. Sorry for the
Yeah.
disturbance, Sachin sir.
So where I was, yeah. So I used to always communicate my team, never look the data in silos. When you are talking about a POB, then it should be get correlated with your secondary and primary. Now, most of the time, the brand managers or maybe the area manager are waiting for a date one to see that कि what kind of sales have happened. Nowadays, तो अभी तो क्या CFA से फटाफट headquarter wise sale आ जाता है. But is that only going to help you? So the thing is that no, it is not going to be. The thing is that what is most important, one need to understand those days have gone. Now there is a one headquarter and one stockist or maybe two stockists. There are big companies who do have more than 10, 12 stockists in the same headquarter. Now, if that thing, there is a change in, there would be two aspects. If everything is right, then there would be a everybody's know that the 20% of the sales come from 80% of the sales come from the 20% of the your customers. Now obviously there would be one or two stockists who are a leading stockist, but what is happening to the rest of the stockists? The POB, the data should get matched with the secondary, which is directly proportional to your primary. So while considering while judging or while checking the authenticity, one can easily look into what has been happening at the secondary level, which is going to make the effective way of ensuring the authenticity and accuracy of the POB.
Perfect.
Manas sir can add for this, or
Yeah,
even
that's what I was coming to Manas sir. Manas sir, with your experience, what do you feel? How is it being done in the industry, and what's your opinion on the authenticity and accuracy of the POB?
The first thing somebody has written in the chart also, quite a few things. What I would like to tell you that authenticity of the we need to work with some trust. The first thing, my starting point is trust. If I see out of my 250 colleagues, I don't say that everybody will be doing the right things. There may be 10 people, 20 people, those who may be doing some manipulations, number one. But if my 80% of my teammates in the team, 300 people, they are doing the POB, the way the output of the stockist is a clear indication that there is a POB which is being done. In addition, it is a clear indication that there is also prescription generation. See, if my stocks are being executed, they are dispatched from stockist X in a marketplace comprising of A, B, C, D, E. If you would have booked 10 boxes and if there's a liquidation in the first week or 10 days, today everywhere we get data. And the moment if it is liquidated, then it's a clear indication. Number one, that yes, that POB is honored. Number two, that there is a prescription flow. Because in the next week again, if not 10, at least 7 boxes will be replenished. So that is where I believe that this is easy to monitor, provided my colleague FLM and RSM, they are on the toes. I see here 2 or 3 colleagues of mine, those who are present in the webinar today, they were very good in following up this. And that's how it can be done. 80% order execution may not take place. As Sachin has very rightly said, the retailer would have not given the payments on time. The stocks probably may not be available, or to satisfy me as a representative, when I have gone with my manager, Ashish Jain, he gives the order. Are sab, ye 5 dabba bhej do, ये 2 डब्बा भेज दो, वो ऑर्डर फेक ऑर्डर है, वो मेरे को खुश करने के लिए दिया हुआ है. So, but 80%, I believe if there is a drive taken, if there is a call given from head office, in most of the cases, the success story is 80%. In my experience, I have never seen there is a failure. The failure comes next week if I am unable to generate prescriptions. Then the POB will not happen. But typically in a OTC business, it is reverse, because in OTC जो दिखता वो बिकता है. तो मेरे को अगर बट वहां पे मेरे को मर्चेंडाइज करना पड़ेगा. I have to ensure that if I'm able to push my brands, I'm tempted to take the names, but I'll not take any brand names. If I see my Trolini is there and my survival capsule is there, so वो अगर मैं सामने रखता हूँ, then the retailer will 100% sell survival capsules, whether it is survival woman or survival men, or Trolini gel or Trolini spray. Now I have to ensure their POB plays a very significant role in addition to ATL above the line and BTL below the line activities. So that is where it is important. Here, it is definitely important. And POB, as again Sachin said, if I'm launching a new product, Ashish, it is my task as a medical representative or as a frontline manager to ensure that I keep stocks in at least selected 25-30% outlets. All the R2 outlets where 2-3 doctors' prescription comes, and all the modern trade outlets, chain pharmacies. It is my task to ensure that I do it.
Perfect. So you have raised a very important point here in terms of accountability of the line manager when it comes to POB, where they have to assure that these particular orders are genuine, obviously assuming that 80% of the orders are genuine, and ensuring that at least the important counters, we should have a data as a company, as a field team, that which are the counters that 70% of the places that we want the stocks to be available. So coming to
Haji.
that, Manas sir, once the order is taken, is the industry also having a challenge in terms of verifying the purchases and giving that particular due credit to the sales guys?
नहीं मतलब if there is a drive that if you do this much of POB and secondary sales, if there is an incentive being announced, that's a different story. See, for every small things that you do, you cannot expect any reward.
Absolutely.
There are certain things which are in my job description, and I need to ensure to do that. Now, have I defined that job description to my person? Now, you raised a very valid point. How do I know? अरे वीकली जो डेटा आता है या 15 दिन लीडिंग स्टॉकिस्ट को बोलो एक कंप्यूटराइज स्टेटमेंट दे दे यार, मेरा ये ड्राइव चल रहा है ये प्रोडक्ट का, मेरा मेनोसीट का चल रहा है, मेरा ट्रूकैल का चल रहा है, मेरे को दे दो तुम. Then you know that last month what you were selling, this month what you were selling. So you can link there both your campaign status. That is what I keep on talking to my PMT colleagues, campaign status, and also my prescription status. So there you can evaluate Manas Das as a PMT person and Manas Das as a sales person. तो वो पता चलेगा कि मेरा campaign successful हुआ कि नहीं हुआ, मेरा field force कहाँ पे क्या कर रहा है, what is the POB. So that is very important segment which takes place.
Perfect.
And it can be easily monitored. See, उसमें भी कहीं कहीं दिक्कत होगा, but if somebody wants to do it consciously, it can be done. It has been practiced. In fact, Ashish, I'm only telling you the practical things. It has been practiced.
Absolutely. So with that, thank you so much, Manas sir. With that, Sachin sir, we would like to ask, when we are driving POB activity at the company level, is it more effective when it comes to new launches, or is it more effective when it comes to established brands or the brands which are actually struggling to survive?
A very good question, because this question is related to one of the tasks which has always been given to the our sales team. The reason is when it comes to the new launch. So let's look into the new launch established brand. That is the brand which are into the maturity stage, and the last is the declining phase of the brands, right? Now, new launch. Before the new launch, the brand management always communicate to the sales team that you should prepare the list of the doctors, set of doctors with the different kind of specialties as per the usage of that molecule. Now, if the list is ready, now even they've been asked, please kindly get the retailers, potential retailers who are adjacent to these doctors as well. And now the day comes, the new product launch is happening at across country. It's really a good time रहता है for everyone, for a brand manager से लेके even to the last person, that is the medical representative, which is the most important element of this chain. But what happens ki once the enthusiasm starts building up this its own what do you say, that the strength inside the doctor chambers, as soon as the team comes out of the doctor chamber, now they are standing at the retailer's part. अभी क्या है सर, मतलब इट्स वेरी प्रैक्टिकल थिंग. सर अभी हमने ये प्रोडक्ट लाया है और यहाँ पे लॉन्च कर दिया है. डॉक्टर एश्योर्ड मी दैट कि आप वहां पे अवेलेबल करवा दो. कहाँ पे है, किरण मेडिकल पे है या राम मेडिकल पे है, तो करवा दो, मैं प्रिस्क्रिप्शन ले लूंगा. नाउ द प्रैक्टिकल थिंग कम्स और द सिचुएशन हैपेंस की पहले मुर्गी या पहले अंडा. द थिंग इज दैट रिटेलर सेज दैट कि भाई पहले पर्चा आने दे फिर मैं लाऊंगा, और यहाँ पे अपने टीम कहती है कि नहीं नहीं सर, पहले पर्चा मतलब प्रोडक्ट अगर अवेलेबल होगा, सो द प्रिस्क्रिप्शन विल गेट ऑनर्ड. नाउ द थिंग इज दैट the POB is more effective, according to me, it's more effective when it's a new launch. The reason behind this thing, you are putting 99% of the efforts on the product launch, and if it is product is not available at that level, you one may have a maybe a one have to listen from the doctor. अरे यार मैंने तो लिख दिया था, आप तो बोल रहे थे ऑल इंडिया में you would like to have a first prescription, मतलब वहां पे प्रिस्क्रिप्शन का पर्चा भी, मतलब फोटो भी ले लिया है, which has gone viral on across country, but यहाँ पे खरीदारी नहीं है. So the more effective POB should be associated with the new product launch, which is ensuring that कि जैसे ही आपने प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च किया है, you are expecting the actual secondary sales of that product, and accordingly you will be expecting the primary uska impact on the primary once it is getting launched. Now when it comes to the maturity brands, or maybe you can say that the brand which is already established, in this case, according to me, what I feel that, or rather what I would like to communicate, that a medical representative along with his area manager should look into the analysis ki out of the 7-8 stockists, there are couple of stockists, kahin pe kuch goods piled up hua hai kya? So if they could do the good POB with those products, they can certainly able to help up to reduce that inventory. In return to that, they are going to get the good primary sales for that. So when it comes to the what do you say, that the brands which is into the which are already established brand, they can certainly do this kind of thing. Or secondly, if the company has announced any scheme, as per me, I always think that for the established brand, you don't require any POB kind of drive as per se. Rather, I'm saying as a competition which is going to get rewarded. Rather, one can think about at all the level, they are my cash cow. So if I am going to do a good POB, it is going to get reflected in my secondary increase, so as I am going to get a primary. Now, the last thing which you have asked for, the question is like this, ki the brand which has reached to the maturity, or rather the declining phase of the product life cycle. Now, it is exclusively depending upon the objective of that company or the organization, or maybe the brand manager, what is going to be the fate of that brand. The thing is that because there are a lot of things that, for example, if it is in the case of molecules, if they have one molecule which is, according to them, it has reached to the declining, and the company is already going to come up with a newer molecule which is going to have a different advantages, so in this case it may not require to go for POB. However, having said done this, if the organization objective is there. We need to finish the entire inventory within the period of so and so time. Then this is also going to help us at the time of the POB in terms of the product which are in the declining phase of the product life cycle.
Perfect. I think you have very well made a point that POB makes absolute sense when it talks about new launches. Established brands, you feel that it may not be relevant. And obviously, dying brands, you have your own perspective. Manas Das, sir, would you like to add upon this experience?
I will only go by what Sachin has said, that I, as a product manager, or I, as a view head, I will not launch any product till the time it is made available in the critical outlets. A medical representative typically has a list of wherever. In many companies they don't have. I don't know, but ideally they should have a master call list of the chemists, which could be 100, and out of 100, at least 25 to 30 retail outlets, depending on the product profile and the HCP profile, it should be made available. Number one. Without that, the product should not be launched. Number two, when it comes to the products like established brand, it is important that the refilling takes place because there the POB is not only POB, it is also a part of RCPA, active RCPA, to understand the customer profile. So there the ordering, see, in today's context, we need to understand the constraint of the field team also, Ashish. That today, एक कंपनी के लिए दिन में 20 आदमी जाते हैं ऑर्डर के लिए. And yesterday what we discussed, Sachin very clearly said, and you also said, that immediately iPad से ऑर्डर जाता है, टैब से ऑर्डर जाता है, एग्जीक्यूशन होके आ जाता है. हमारा काम क्या है? He may order 2 tubes of Trolini and he may order 2 tubes of Trolini 30 grams. लेकिन मेरे को मेरा 10 ग्राम भी बेचना है, मेरे को मेरा 100 ग्राम भी बेचना है. मेरा काम है एज ए मेडिकल रिप्रेजेंटेटिव, सेल्स एग्जीक्यूटिव, कि अरे यार तू तो दे दिया, तू मेरे को ट्रोलिनी का 10 ग्राम का 2 ट्यूब ऑर्डर दे, तू मेरे को ट्रोलिनी का 100 ग्राम, वो मेरे को करना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज दीज आर एस्टेब्लिश्ड ब्रांड्स. See, everybody will place order for the moving brands. It will be on their like lips. But the real difficulties will be in the declining brand. If you are selling a product called Prazola, which is basically something, I'm not trying to take any brand names. Yeah. There's a product called Prazola, which is Alprazola, basically, and which may be selling in some parts of the country, maybe in Andhra Pradesh, maybe in East. It sells for a company in a very huge quantity. It may not be a profitable product, it's a low-cost product. But वहाँ पे वो product रखने के लिए there has to be certain things. Either the product movement is good or you are offering any schemes. Because क्यों आदमी लेंगे आपके product? Product का prescription नहीं निकलता है, आपने efforts नहीं डालते हो. So, but that's a product which he can sell himself. तो उसको आपने 10+1, 10+2, and there the opportunity comes for the representative to detail the product to the person. And if he is able to convince कि आप मेरा X product देते हो, आपको ये फायदा है, product का ये काम है, और plus आप 10 ट्यूब बेचते हो तो आपको 20% extra margin है. So total margin you get is 40 rupees. 40 rupees margin आपका दिन में 4 कप चाय हो जाता है आपका स्टाफ के लिए. See, if you are able to explain in that way, then probably it is good. But whatever said and done, again I am aligned with Sachin that order booking is slowly becoming bit difficult in many places because of the stockist network, in particularly in metros and tier 1 markets. But in other places, it is even today, it's an extremely important activity and must be continued.
Thank you so much. And with that, coming back to Sachin sir, how can pharma brands build stronger relationship with chemists? Because you in the current role are dependent 100% on the chemist. You meet them on a day-to-day basis. You're also pursuing your PhD, where you have talked about doing a very unique project uh, when it talk about generic medicines. So how do you develop relationship with this chemist? And Manas Das sir also told that you have to know the person by name. So that's a very basic thing which most of the people miss out in the mad rush. So what are the key things you feel that are important for us to develop relationship with chemists so that we can get what we want from the chemist?
For this, we should never forget that we are dealing with human beings. जो आपको अच्छा लगता है वो सामने वाले को अच्छा लग ही सकता है, और जो आपको बुरा लगता है वो भी सामने वाले को बुरा लग सकता है. So to make it a good rapport with the chemist, or maybe you can say that even with the physician or the healthcare provider, the most important thing is the continuity over there. If you go once in a while and expect that the सामने वाला आपको अच्छा खासा टाइम दे, it's not only the time, he should entertain you. No, it's not only entertain, he should be answering all your questions. Not only this, he should be giving you the POB. If you expect all this kind of things, which is not going to happen, because these are all impractical things. The first and most important thing is one which is going to be there is the continuity. If you are really honestly doing retailing, I'll say that, so definitely you are going to have, or rather it is going to help you to create a good rapport with the retailer. So now, first thing, you have ensured that the rapport has been getting done. If you could follow your tailored communication, your structured communication with the doctors, with the chemist as well, so you gonna help it whatever agar aata hai. So most of the time it happens that there is a POB drive or maybe RCPA karna hai, then brand management team has given you some tools, maybe in terms of small ek koi pen ho sakta hai ya scribbling pad ho sakta hai, whatever it could be there. Okay, so try to utilize effectively. It is not to be meant for all your 100 retailers, but try to make it use good usage of this, touch points. I always consider these are the touch points, not a gift, while giving it to the retailer, so that he will also remember you, and it is going to be the one of the step going closer to the retailer. It's not only this. Once you could see, when you're entering, you're going inside the chamber and having an interaction with a doctor, you may cross check at that moment कि whether the prescription are being getting honored or not. Because ऐसा भी हो सकता है most of the times कि नहीं, हाँ हाँ मैंने अवेलेबल करवा दिया, हाँ वहां पे हो गया, हाँ इसका पर्चा आ रहा है, but actually when you go inside the chamber, डॉक्टर बोलता है नहीं यार मेरे 3 पेशेंट वापस आ गए, आपने बोला था वो श्रीराम मेडिकल में है, बट है ही नहीं वहां पे. And when you are at the Shriram Medical Store, he says that सब कुछ ठीक है. So one need to cross check over there, sir. This is the new product which I made it available at 2-3 counters, and are you comfortable? Are your all patients are comfortable and they're getting the products? So वो cross check करके one need to come back and say and give a feedback to the that concerned retailer as well, which is going to again help you कि ये बंदा आता है उसको क्या होता है. See, retailer is more interested in what कि अगर उसका business बढ़े. So, but naturally, if you are putting some efforts towards this positivity, they are likely mind they are going to save it. However, having said done this, we need to understand the practicality. The yesterday what we discussed, अगर in the busy time वहां पे जाके आप बोल रहे हो वहां पे सिर्फ 8 कस्टमर खड़े हुए हैं and you are expecting that retailer should be entertaining you that time itself, irrespective of आपका zonal manager आया हो साथ में या और कोई, so things doesn't happen. At least it can be a hi hello time. You can have a dinner and उसको पूछो कि मैं रात को वापस आ सकता हूँ क्या, because साहब भी आए हुए and would like to have this kind of information. तो क्या है, so one need to understand the time constraint which is there at the retailer level. If it's the busy time, so think about some other time where you can able to. Obviously practicality की बात करें तो it will be possible only in headquarter. आप एक स्टेशन जा रहे हो तो वो नहीं पॉसिबल हो सकता है. We need to understand that as well. The same thing they are also aware कि बंदा अगर 80 किलोमीटर 100 किलोमीटर से आया है तो दे विल से दैट कि साहब 5 मिनट रुकिए 10 मिनट रुकिए मैं आपको बोलता हूँ लेट मी अंडरस्टैंड दिस थिंग सो एट द सेल्स टीम इट इज लेवल इट इज मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट कि अगर वो उनको ये करना है रिलेशनशिप बढ़ानी है तो देर आर सम स्टेप्स इन्वॉल्व वी नीड टू बैलेंस एंड put our efforts very positively which is definitely going to help us.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I think very valid practical inputs that you have given to us in terms of how do we develop relationship with chemists. I remember a Sunday morning when I was having a discussion with Manas Das sir, where he openly asked me or challenged me, Ashish, with your experience, can you please tell me how many type of retailers are there in India? So I was little perplexed in terms of what to answer, but to the best of my knowledge, I answered what I felt in terms of the type of retailers. He comes with a background of being on the field and seen the RX business, seen the OTC business. So we had a very insightful discussion on whether RCPA, which we normally do, should be the same across all the retailers or should it be different? So with that, Manas sir, I would like to share your particular knowledge, what we have been discussing last to last Sunday in terms of RCPA insights should vary across retailers. You have talked about different type of retailers, R1, R2, R3, R4. Should the RCPA format should be the same? Because I have seen companies have a standard format and field guys follow the command, what is being released by the head office, and they try to do the RCPA. So is that the right way to do it, or do you feel that there should be different forms of RCPA?
The format can be the same, but the communication needs to be different.
Sure.
See, because it is exactly what you do when it comes to the communication. See, if I'm going to ask Sachin, and when there is only Dr. Ashish Jain sitting next, my communication should be tailor made for one doctor. When I'm going to meet Ashish, where 4 doctors are coming, there I need to talk differently. Because if I am not able to do that, if I am going to ask the same question, आपको किसका किसका पर्ची आता है, आपको ये आ रहा है कि नहीं, वो आ रहा है कि नहीं, nobody will respond. Nobody will respond. First thing, the basic starts from where, you know, Sachin, Ashish, that do I have a list of chemists? So I have a doctor's list, but do I have a chemist list? Ideally, any medical representative today should have a list of 100. It is, I'm again talking of my opinion, and I'm talking of what has been practiced. I will not talk of theory. One like MR or sales executive needs to necessarily have 100 to 120 selected chemist outlet, comprising of all kind of chemists. Now you talked about that what we discussed. Now believe me, when I was going through my notes, in addition to 1, 2, 3, 4, there are also various kinds of chemists. I just noted down for the benefits of the people. Like there are chemists serving one doctor, which we have discussed. Chemists serving 2 or more doctors, what we have discussed. Major chemist of the locality. Every locality will have one chemist outlet serving prescription of major doctors or the institutions of the city. वो काउंटर पुराना 30 साल का काउंटर है, 20 साल का आउटलेट्स है. आपको मालूम है कहीं जो दवाई नहीं मिला वो वहां पे मिलेगा ही. Every city, every village, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, metro, everywhere you will have that. Then modern trade chemists, as we have discussed today morning also, Apollo, MedPlus, Noble, Frank Cross, many such things. Chemists in front of the medical colleges and the institutions, that is, in front of medical colleges or big institutions, they play a critical role. In front of NIMS, in front of Gandhi, in front of KEM, these are the, in front of EAMS, if there are 100 retail outlets, there it has to be different. Then chemist within the hospital campus. A medical representative or a PMT may not have a very big role to play there because these outlets usually will have a direct relationship or contractual agreements with the organization, with the institutional division. वो जितना डॉक्टर को भी बताया जाए products, if the chemist does not keep, if the company is not giving adequate margin, he will replace all the brands. I think more than me, Sachin will know much better on this, what is to be done.
Yeah, Sachin sir, please add your perspective to the discussion.
Yeah, the thing is that yes, there are various kind of retailers, as Manasda has rightly communicated. There is always a one retailer who keeps, अगर कुछ भी नहीं मिल रहा है तो कोई भी बोल सकता है क्या ये मिला ही नहीं यार मुझे, तो they will definitely decide कि यहाँ पे जाओ वहाँ पे मिल जाएगा, because it is the that business strategies of that retailer who's been doing this kind of thing. And obviously there would be other retailers who are looking into the matlab, it's a game of the company strategy of either push or pull. In the push aspects, it is the POB driven, wherein companies really interested to get a more push business by pursuing more POBs. Rather the pull, it is all efforts been done on your generating the big prescriptions, so that definitely there is pull is happening from the market itself, because the doctor is giving a lot of prescription. Generation of the prescription is going to help to get the more pull. And obviously I always agree, 100 ये नंबर पता नहीं, मैं भी गए 22-24 साल से सुनते आया हूँ, minimum 100 retailers has to be there with every headquarter. Because see, take an example, even if somebody is thinking about to make a brand of a minimum a crore or 5 crore brand, so we can talk about एक SKU उसका जो भी है 100 ml का है, वो either it's a liquid है या strip है, so 200 strips, even if somebody is making available only 2 strips at one retailer, so 200 multiplied by the whatever the field force size, one can ensure immediate secondary of that वहां पे. Until, because it's usual thought comes कि नहीं पहला मैं तो 3 स्टॉकिस्ट को बिल कर दूंगा तो उतना हो जाएगा. But is that only going to help you out? It's not the answer. The answer is no. That is not going to help until unless you are making it your product available. So even in case of either of the say, you can the new product है या आपका product brand which is in the maybe a maturity phase में है, if you could have a good number of retailers as well, that is 100, where you are focusing, where you are visiting, where you are interacting, which is going to give you a very good health to that headquarter.
Perfect. I think good perspective. With that, we would like to open up what the participants have also been looking forward, which is the contest. And this is purely based on the discussion that we are having today with the speakers on the topic of RCPA and POB. We have one questions and we have got 4 options for you to answer, similar like KBC, where you have to just pick the right one and your life is sorted. So with that, I would like to open up the contest, and my team will be sharing the contest link in the chat. So the question is talking about what is the most effective method to ensure accuracy of POB data. So I'm sure we have discussed this in length with the speakers. I would request you to please scan the QR code. If you have difficulty in scanning the QR code, please follow the chat. My team has put in the link, and you can just click on the link, and if you are the fastest one who is answering the correct answer gets a chance to win this particular book. It's a hard copy book which will be delivered to your doorstep. The person who is winning will be calling and taking your particular details, and with your permission we will be sending across this particular book. This is a very interesting read. I personally have gone through this particular book, and Subbarao sir have been a very distinguished author. He has written more than 12 books in pharma marketing. He has serviced companies like Sun Pharma, and now he has completely devoted his life for academics. So he is focused on writing more books, and they are topics which are of relevance and interest, which is going to come from Sir's side. So I would request if everyone can participate in the contest, get a chance to win this particular book. There are 2 winners who will be getting this book from our side, and we will be also sharing this book with our speakers today. And if you are done, please type in done in the chat, and then it will help us to move forward. Ratan, thank you so much. You seem to be the first who have completed. I hope you have answered it correctly. So there are 4 options which are given in the link. You can just click on the link and respond to us. And then I see Satvik, thank you, Afreen. Thank you, Ajit. Great. So we did a LinkedIn opinion poll before we started off this particular webinar. That was about a week back. We have been talking about data accuracy. When we're talking about RCPA, I will be flashing what exactly we shared in the LinkedIn. And while we complete this particular contest, and we will be asking this question to the speakers, which is the last question for the day. We are almost at the end of the webinar, and also at the end of the webinar, we will also be announcing the winners. And you will also get a chance to ask any questions. The chat has been buzzing with a lot of questions. My team have to be really selective in terms of what are the questions which we really need to ask the speakers. So I've requested our speakers, Sachin sir, Manas Das sir, to be there with us so that we can answer to the best possible manner to all the questions that we have been asked. So with that, I would like to share with you the screenshot of the opinion poll, which I have raised in LinkedIn. We are talking about retail chemist prescription analysis. What is the biggest roadblock? So there are 4 options which we have asked, which is collecting data. Is it a problem? Authenticity of data, is it a problem? Or analyzing the data, is it a problem? Or do you feel data itself is a problem at all levels in terms of collecting or the authenticity or the analysis? So Manas Das sir, with your opinion, please give us light. This has been just opinion which people have actually put in. And what is the way forward for RCPA for the pharma industry? Will it be relevant or will it be outsourced? What do you feel so?
See, Ashish, as I have put yesterday, in response to your post, that working without RCPA is just like taking up a journey without destination. RCPA के बिना RCPA is going to stay. RCPA is going to stay, may not be as a part of POB, but RCPA is definitely going to stay, whether you are into specialty or anything, because RCPA will give you a basic guidelines that what is to be done, which product the doctor is prescribing, my target audience. See, many often we talk of one thing, product prospect matching. How I do the product prospect matching? There are 2 ways of doing it. Superficially doing it. अरे चलो वो डॉक्टर लिखता होगा, चलो पेंटोप्राजोल सब कोई लिखते हैं, but quantify अगर मैं नहीं करूंगा. See, there is a market. I was handling, I'll give you a life story here. And one of my PMT team members, colleague, really we to work together. One of the markets, tier 1 markets of India, was the market of leading rabiprazole. I am referring this in the year of 2008-9. And when I worked, I was somehow responsible for yet another leading brand of pantoprazole. And that is a market where we as a company, we are doing well, but we were not doing well in this particular molecule. Believe me, that time I was I think I was a national sales manager. With my colleagues, we did the survey of 30 important retailers in that particular city. And we came to know, found out that who are the major prescribers of that brand of rabiprazole. Probably many of you will understand. Probably Sachin will understand better. You will understand better. And many others will understand. And after we came back to head office, we took an action plan. Thanks to that colleague of PMT, the name that I have discussed with Sachin in the morning today, we derived a plan, and believe me, 6 months' time, our pantoprazole became the number 1 in that market. And even today, that is the continuity which is going on even after 15 years. So that is the power of RCPA. That is the power of RCPA, because the people, they believe that the moment we identify, then as a head office, we need to support them. They will give us the data. Our intention has to be clear. So without RCPA, my journey, there is no journey. I don't know where I'm going. मैं अगर अभी बैठ के मैं इलाहाबाद का टिकट, मैं श्रीनगर का टिकट लेके बोलूंगा कि मैं महाकुंभ जाऊंगा, आई कैनॉट गो. I need to buy the ticket of Allahabad to go to Mahakumbh. It's like that. So I need to, so RCPA, as you asked me the question, it has to stay. It has to be done properly. It's a scientific process. And that is where I say that I come to know the prescription habit of the doctors, the disease that in which that is the prescription habit, which are the other competitive molecules. अगर वो PPI लिख रहे हैं तो कौन सा लिख रहे हैं? Rabiprazole, esomeprazole, pantoprazole और तो मेरे को अगर उनको जाके लड़ना है, if I have rabiprazole, I need to find out some weaknesses of pantoprazole or esomeprazole, whatever is prescribing. But if I do not know, I will continue to see. I will give you a life example for these youngsters. When I was selling, many of them will not know. Probably, I don't know whether Ashish, you will know, but Sachin will know. There was a brand called Suganvril, the number one analgesic anti-inflammatory of the country, oxyfenbutazole, when I was working with Saravais as a medical representative. There was no other brand. Then Voveran was launched. Sorry, I took the name. I should have not. So, like diclofenac was launched. There was one doctor, Dr. Ashish Patnaik, who is no more in Paripada, a place in Orissa. I found that the colleague is talking to him everything against oxyfenbutazole, Suganvril. And I was standing outside. None of them they knew. And he was the doctor who used to prescribe every day 100 tablets, one box of oxyfenbutazole, Suganvril. At the end of the talk, the doctor said, "You have told the right thing. That's a very bad product. That means I'm a bad doctor who prescribes. Please do not come to me." My point is that we need to understand the doctor's psyche. We need to understand that the doctor is prescribing, why he's prescribing. All these things can happen only when I do the RCPA sincerely. See, I'm taking in the name of a brand, which my colleagues, they did a fantastic, I should not use these kind of adjectives, but did a very good job. When we launched, there is a product called Lactifiber, which is one of the leading brands today. And we are competing with many leading brands, including the multinational brands. But my colleagues in the field and the head office, my PMT colleagues, they did such an excellent job. We could ensure, number one, the availability of the products, because we are detailing to the chemists also. And they could detail the product, understand the doctor's prescription habit to the doctors. So that is how they could establish the brand. So without the detailing, see, when we launched this, our business of OTX, taking some of the leading brands from OTC, from prescription, they went to OTC. After almost 18 to 20 years, we brought them back again in 22 to OTX. We did almost 2 months of retailing, 2 months before launching the product, and only 2 brands. We had all ins and outs of the doctor's prescription habit. Probably that helped the business to launch the product effectively in the marketplace. So RCPA is to respond. That's my belief, is going to stay. It's a process which is a science. It has to be done very, very, very effectively, Ashish.
Perfect.
And for that, if people are interested, you can take up a session for 2 to 3 hours in a smaller group.
Certainly.
In any of the cycle meetings, it has to be demonstrated. There should be one person will be a chemist, The other person will be the representative talking to him, demonstration. And some of the seniors, they need to demonstrate that. And then only it will be a success story. That's what I believe.
Perfect. That's fine. I think with that, we come to the last part of the webinar today, and valid points shared by Sir today in terms of RCPA, how it has to be done. While we are also announcing the winners, there is also an opportunity which has come for the people who would like to book any of the books which are coming from Subarao Sir. You can use this particular coupon code and get a 25% discount and delivery free across India. There is a link which my team has also put in. We follow his book religiously because of the depth of the knowledge that he shares for the industry. There are about 12 books, and you can also have a link of that particular thing in the chat. And please give us a feedback of today's webinar, how it has helped you, whether it has served the purpose. And going forward, every month we have been doing it. Like I said, today is the 15th webinar that we are doing on behalf of the pharma industry. It also serves the purpose for us to know the industry trends, what exactly are the needs, challenges, problems, and the aspirations which the pharma industry is looking in for. So with that, I have to introduce Medgini. Medgini is a company which was started in 2012 by me, and it was with the whole objective of helping pharma industry with the help of technology, data, and communication. We have serviced the pharma industry in 4 different aspects in terms of chemists, doctors, patients. The chemist is the very critical piece where we have formed a valid base of retailers where companies used our reach to communicate about their new launches, offers, schemes. We have also done a lot of merchandise activities for companies. We have done doctor engagement activities. Please reach out to our team and we'll be happy to engage with you on specific engagements that you would like to have. Patient support program is something which we have done for companies where we know exactly what are the step-by-step methods which are involved. So we are present in 3 cities, Hyderabad, Mumbai, and Bangalore. And we are there available on a call and we are here to serve you for this purpose. With that, we would like to come to the end of the session, but the announcement of the winners are also coming my way, where we are going to announce 2 winners for the contest who have answered correctly and the fastest. We are talking about 2 winners. The second winner is Ratan Rajak. So Ratan Rajak, team, can you put him on spotlight? Congratulations on behalf of the team for responding. There was just a millisecond difference between the first one and the second one. Ratan, if you are there with us, can you please come on spotlight?
Yeah, hi.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you, Manas
Congratulations.
sir. It was an honor, sitting and listening to Manas sir. So
It's
thank you
my
very much.
pleasure.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
रतन जो आप लोग
congratulations.
से सीखे हैं वही बोल रहे हैं यहाँ पे.
And the book is coming your way. What has been your thought? What is the key takeaway for today's session for you?
Yeah, so see, I do work as a pharmaceutical trainer, so it is very important to, train our field people on RCP and
Yeah,
POB. So I do work for an organization where we are having prescription business. At the same time, we are also having generic, business also. So it's very
wonderful.
important to, segregate and making them understand what is the importance of RCPA. So I believe from this session, whatever insights I've got it, so I will definitely implement on those things, whether it could be for POB or it could be for, RCPA. So thank you. Thank you, Ashish.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. And with that, the first winner is Sachin Yadav. Team, can you please put Sachin on spotlight?
Is not available, sir.
Okay, great. So 2 people have won today, and the book is going your way. With that, we come to the end of the session today. And honestly, thank you so much, participants, for being with us on a weekend, especially Saturday, that too a year end, and gaining this particular knowledge. Your bonus, as promised, as committed, the ebook for this particular conversations that we are having today will be crafted and sent across to you in your inbox. So my team will take time about, say, Wednesday or Thursday, and the same will be shared across to the entire team. With that, I would also like to thank on behalf of the participants to the speakers who have shared the knowledge with us. Their time has really been of value to us today. Thank you, Sachin sir. Thank you, Manas Das sir. It has been an honor to be with you today.
Pleasure.
Any of
So
any
there are a lot
specific
of questions which have come in the chat, sir.
questions? Any
If
specific
your time
questions?
permits, can we please take that?
Yes, Ashish. There are a couple of questions I was also having a look.
Yeah. So, Sachin sir, there is one question which is coming from Manashi Bhattacharji. So he's talking about the discussion generally is related to trade. Can you give some insights of handling hospital pharmacy? So this is a very sweet spot. I think you have been there, done that. Can you please give us some insights?
See, hospital pharmacy, they do have their own business as rightly communicated by Manasda. The thing is that usually when there is a hospital pharmacy, uh, either it could be the hospital, the organization owned pharmacy, or it could be outsourced by taking the huge deposits from the pharmacy with the understanding there is going to be a profit sharing in that. So when it comes to your POB or maybe the RCPA, it is going to be little tough because they have their own structured. They're gonna have their own few products which is going to be get profit margin. Nowadays, everybody is aware that the doctors are coming together and they are getting manufactured couple of products which is going to give them the high GC as well. So you cannot expect being one of the same molecule you do have, but you can able to rush in with a huge quantity in the hospital pharmacy. So hospital in when it comes to the hospital pharmacy, if you could have some another niche product, definitely it is going to help you to reach, because they don't have every kind of thing available for them. So handling hospital pharmacy, I think if you could have a niche product, you can definitely get an easy entry over there. And if it is the product which is already available with them, then you need to first interact with the doctor as well. And if the doctor is convinced with you, then you can easily make it available, because that is the only way you can put it out there, because
Okay.
there are so many things which is not in the hands of the pharmacy owner as well over there.
So there are a lot of external factors which play important role. Apart from just the pricing, it is the influencers who want the particular product available at the hospital pharmacy. So well taken. And there is one question which is coming up from Satvik Srivastava. What are some tools to collect and compile the RCPA data? At Medgini, we have developed applications in terms of collecting RCPA data for large pharma companies. We can definitely be in touch with you and help you in terms of how exactly data can be collected, how data can be compiled and data can be read. So with that, one more question is coming up from Amitabha Das. So once the chemist comes to know that that we are there to improve his business, retailers will always entertain us. Know the person by name if it works like a magic. So it's a comment, so it's not a question. So let me look for the questions.
Amitav is only telling the factual thing, what he has practiced in 22 while launching the OTX business, one of the first in the country. Because in the period of those 2 months, in a very difficult markets that he worked in Calcutta, he could have done the same thing as a practice, talk to the retailers and convince them to keep some of the products which could be prescription oriented products, and that is what he has shared his experience, I believe.
Perfect. Yes. So Rahul has got a very important thing as what Manas Das took up in his discussion, that personal order booking seems to be a part of the unethical practices in the pharmaceutical market, especially in Mumbai, where medical reps often offer gifts and monetary schemes from their own pockets to secure prescription. This not only distorts fair competition, but also raises concerns about the ethical sales practices and patient safety. Won't it be more beneficial for the industry to focus on prescription-driven business instead? How do you see the trend impacting the industry in the long run, and what measures can be taken to curb such practices? So, Manas sir, this is basically related to POB, and what he is asking is whether giving immediate cashback to the retailers, is it a fair practice, or is it going to impact the industry in the long run?
I saw the question at the beginning when he has put this, and that's why I wanted to discuss that if there are any questions. For me, if you are in a prescription business, POB has to be done. And the people, those who are doing this, believe you me, my dear friend, who has put this question, what's his name you said? I
Rahul
just,
Shah.
Rahul. Rahul, believe you me, Rahul, that these people, those who are doing it, they are compromising in their work. They are incapable of generating prescriptions. That is how they are doing it. There could be two things. Either the expectation is not matching with the real dynamics of the markets, or the person is not working effectively. The number of such people, I have been working in Bombay market for last 20 years. I have been working in this Bombay market right from Dombivli, right from Virar Vasai to South Bombay, and in length and breadth, and effectively. Believe you me, Rahul, there are few people must be doing, but the first thing, the moment you are able to identify such people, they should be removed spontaneously because there is a compromise. There is a compromise in his work, and that is where he is able to share the money. Now there is second thing. There could be in the new launch some companies that they will give an offer 10 plus 1 और ये 10 ट्यूब ले लो तो ये बॉटल फ्री है वो फ्री है दैट्स ओके बट वहां पे अगर प्रिस्क्रिप्शंस का फोकस if you are working in which capacity I am not sure. Rahul is working as what? Any idea? If you are in a managerial capacity, focus on RX, RX, RX. Because Sachin used a beautiful word, मुर्गी पहले की अंडा पहले. आपको पहले धंधा चाहिए कि पहले स्टेबिलिटी चाहिए प्रोडक्ट का. And I believe, Rahul, I am aligned with you. There are people to whom we have removed, not only in Bombay, in many places, we have removed. And you will be knowing that very clearly, particularly in the company that I have worked with, we do not tolerate, we have a zero tolerance for this kind of things. Usko nikal do. By doing that, you set an example for rest of the team. But अगर आपने कोई पैसा देके ऑर्डर बुकिंग करता है दैट इज वन टाइम अफेयर्स आपका लिक्विडेशन होगा ही नहीं यार मार्केट चलेगा नहीं प्रोडक्ट हाँ अगर आपके पास ओटीसी में आप हो उसमें स्कीम्स वगैरह आता है दैट्स ए डिफरेंट स्टोरी तो ये थोड़ा मेरा फीडबैक था मैं बहुत पहले ही देखा था ये चीज but I do not know Sachin has also worked and Sachin has seen both the sides RX as well as now generic how it will be Sachin's reactions kya hai I would love to learn.
Yes, Manasda, I've also read this question that time itself. It has 12:21. The Rahul has put into the chest.
Yeah.
See, the thing is that it's very unfortunate part when the representative does such kind of unethical thing. Everybody is understanding very well that there are no shortcuts for the success, right? So these are basically the shortcuts which has been used by the medical representatives to gain some kind of returns, but that return is for the shorter period as well. There are only short period gains. What he gains, he is going to get it. Being a manager, let us not forget. Rather, we should always think about what do we do, our teammates are going to do. So medical representative don't have this kind of, all medical representative rather I'll say that they don't have the knowledge कि ये भी हो सकता है. It is the imperative of the area managers or maybe the second line area managers who are who have got the pivotal role by imparting the upbringingness to the Salesforce team. क्या होता है ना, they always mimic what boss ने क्या किया था. Irrespective of your field, आप फार्मा की बात कर रहे हो, आईटी की बात कर रहे हो, कहीं की भी बात कर लो, your team members would like to mimic you if the frontline manager have been practicing this time and he would gladly sharing this thing कि नहीं भाई एक काम करो ना, ये नहीं हो रहा है ना, देखो टीम, उनका इंटेंशन ठीक है कि भाई एक नंबर का वो टीम बनाए, ठीक है, बट नॉट बाय adopting such kind of unethical practices. This is a big no, and I'm telling you, especially the companies where I've worked, we have never tolerated such kind of thing. क्योंकि वो 2 महीने के लिए नहीं दिखता है, but there is a likelihood chance on 61st day you will get caught, and उसका रिपोर्केशन क्या है, फिर ये लिंक कहां तक है वो भी देखी जाती है. Is it only the representative who is involved? What was the role of area manager? What was the role of regional sales manager? Zonal तक भी चेक किया जाता है, and whosoever is found guilty, they've been no longer they work with the organization. So unfortunately अगर कहीं पे ये हो रहा है तो वो बंदे को बताना चाहिए किसी ने तो भी. द फर्स्ट वन मोस्ट रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी इज ऑन द फ्रंट लाइन मैनेजर कि भाई ये मत कर, बिकॉज दिस इज नॉट गोइंग टू गिव यू बिग gains for the long term period. So one should refrain ourselves from such kind of practices.
Absolutely. Yes. And what Manasdas sir also told that doing RCPA will actually help you understand ki where are you actually doing this particular practice? Is it actually giving you the right kind of results? So just talking the particular product may not give you anything, but actually dispensing that particular drug is also very important. So if you don't know the right doctor to whom you are actually going and detailing it, will not really serve all the things that you are trying to do as well. Great. So that with that, we come to the end of the webinar, and I thank you all for being with us today. And as promised, we will be crafting a very beautiful ebook, which obviously will be submitted to our speakers first, because that's their knowledge and the words which they have told, which we are trying to transcript it in a digestible format for all of us, which will be there for all the people who have been there with us today. Thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you, Manas sir. Thank you, Sachin sir. Appreciate your knowledge and time.
Thanks, Sachin. Thanks, Rajesh.
Thank
Thanks,
you, sir.
everybody, for your patience here. It's our learning also. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Thank you
sir.
very much.
Good
Thank
day.
you. Thanks. Bye.